Okay, good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon sa ating lahat. Magandang araw sa ating mga live viewers. Sa pagkakataon na ito ay we will going to have your mock board examination in the subject criminal procedure. Okay, this subject is intended for the fourth year who are currently enrolled in the course criminology. Okay, so in a few minutes we are going to have our mock board examination. This is to know how far have we gone in this subject and will also determine whether we are academically prepared for this subject. Okay, so there are 25 questions all in all. So we are intended to get at least 12 so that you will be given a 75% score or grade in the examination. Okay, so sino ang ating mga kasama ngayon? Yung mga fourth year, okay, Partiñas, Manzano, Layugan. So get ready with your writing materials, your test booklet, because you will going to submit to me your test booklet and your permit. Okay, take note, personal. Okay, personally you give it to me your permit and your test booklet so that I know whether you have a permit or not. I will going to record. Okay, so sa ating secretary, kasi si secretary ay makakalimutin na rin minsan. Magbibigay siya ng pangalan, complete. Kaya yung iba, nag-iiyakan na dahil wala raw permit, walang grade, hindi na-submit na pala. Okay, so para maiwasan yan, give to me personally your permit and your test booklet. Then 2 days thereafter, you will get your class card for this subject para matapos na tayo. Right, so medyo marami-rami na rin tayo. Mag-press 6 na tayo. Press 6 muna. Okay, press 6 para makapag-start na tayo. Yeah. So nauna na dito si Glenn Imiterio. Ready na. Si Deo Partiñas, si Varga, alright, si Marvin. Yeah. So, James is here. So, this examination will have a deadline of up to 8 o'clock for the submission of your answer. Okay. So, join me and you are given time to go over all these questions later on. Then, submit in the link provided makikita sa ating description box. Okay? So, 8 o'clock is our deadline. Kailangan natin ng deadline para may record na kagad natin to and we are going to proceed for another subject. Okay, so once again, good afternoon sa inyong lahat. Welcome to our mock board examination on the subject criminal procedure. Okay, let us start to question number 1. When the accused refuses to plead or make a conditional plea, what plea shall be entered for him? Letter A, no plea is given. Letter B, plea of guilty. Letter C, plea of not guilty. Or letter D, conditional plea of guilty. Yes. So when the accused refuses to plead or makes a conditional plea, what plea shall be entered to him? Or what plea shall be entered for him? Letter A, B, C, or D. Number 2, consummated in one place, yet by nature of the offense, the violation of the law is deemed continuing. A, continuing offense. B. Transitory offense. Letter C. Scattered offense. Or letter D. None of them. So, consummated na kagad sa isang lugar, pero because of its nature, it is deemed continuing when it goes to other places. Okay. A, B, C, or D. Number 3. Upon custody and prior to conviction, when the offense charge is not punishable by death, life imprisonment, or reclusion perpetua, letter A, bail is a matter of right. Letter B, bail is a matter of discretion. Letter C, bail should not be allowed. Or letter D, bail is not required. Upon custody and prior conviction, anong masasabi natin when it comes to bail? Is it a matter of right, matter of discretion? Is it allowed or not? Okay. Number 4. When a person shall not be admitted to bail if charged with a capital offense. When, I repeat the question, when a person shall not be admitted to bail if charged with a capital offense. Letter A, if the evidence of guilt is weak. Letter B, if the evidence of guilt is strong. Letter C, if the evidence of guilt is not enough. Or letter D, all of them. When the person charged shall not be admitted to bail if charged with capital offense. In what situation? A, B, C, or D. Number 5. Can an accused post bail even if he has not been formally charged in court? Letter A, no. Charge in court is a mandatory requirement. Letter B, it is subject to the discretion of the judge. Letter C, none is correct. Letter D, yes, as long as the accused is under custody of the law. Pwede bang mag-file ng piyansa yung taong hindi pa nakakasuhan sa korte? Yes or no? And what is the reason? Number 6. What can be granted by the court at any time before a judgment of conviction becomes final on motion of the accused? What can be granted by the court at any time before a judgment of conviction becomes final on motion of the accused? Letter A, new trial or reconsideration. Letter B, temporary liberty. Letter C, suspension of judgment. Or letter D, acquittal. What can be granted? Number 7. Means that the trial shall be conducted according to the law of criminal procedure and the rules and regulations, and it should be free from vexatious, capricious, and oppressive delay. Is it A, right against self-incrimination? Letter B, is it right to counsel? Letter C, right to be present in trial? Or letter D, the right to speedy trial? Number 8. An accused has the right to be present and defend in person and by counsel at every stage of the proceedings from arraignment to promulgation. What kind of counsel is requiring in this statement? Letter A, competent counsel. Letter B, independent counsel. Letter C, competent counsel. Or letter D, effective counsel. The accused has the right to be present and defended in person and by counsel. Anong klaseng counsel ang nire-require ng ating role? Number 9. The right covers testimonial compulsion only and the compulsion to produce real or physical evidence using the body of the accused. A, right against self-incrimination. Letter B, right to counsel. Letter C, right to be present in trial, or letter D, right to due process. Question number 10. Refer to this reception of evidence in other processes. It embraces the period for the production or for the introduction of evidence by both parties. Letter A, hearing. Letter B, prosecution of the case. Letter C, trial. Or letter D, appeal. I repeat, refer to the reception of evidence and other processes. It embraces the period for the introduction of evidence by both parties. Ito ba'y tinatawag ng hearing, prosecution of the case, trial, or appeal? Okay, for this number, press 10 tayo. Okay, mag-press 10, get the number 10 question. SS with the number 10 question. Okay, repeating announcement, press 10, SS with the number 10 question. Okay, press 10 tayo. Press 10, SS with the number 10 question. Okay, kung hindi nyo na sabayan, pwede kayong mag-SS another number. 11, right of the accused to be present and defend in person and by counsel at every stage of the proceedings. From letter A, arraignment to appeal of judgment. Letter B, custodial investigation to appeal. Letter C, preliminary investigation to judgment. Or letter D, arraignment to promulgation of the judgment. I repeat, period of the accused to be present and defend in person and by counsel at every stage of the proceeding. Is it from letter A, letter B, letter C, or letter D? Question number 12. The adjudication by the court that the accused is guilty or not guilty of the offense charged and the imposition on him of the proper penalty and civil liability if any. Letter A, hearing. Letter B, judgment. Letter C, appeal. Or letter D, plea. Number 12. In the jurisdiction over the continuing crime, the courts of the territories where the essential ingredients of the crime took place have letter A, concurrent jurisdiction, letter B, exclusive jurisdiction, letter C, permanent jurisdiction, or letter D, special jurisdiction. Okay, jurisdiction over a continuing crime. Remember that this kind of crime happens in different places. And every places may kanya-kanyang korte yan. Okay. Sabi sa rule natin, pwedeng dalawang korte may jurisdiction sa krimen na yan. Anong tawag natin sa jurisdiction na yan ng dalawang korte? Concurrent, permanent, special, or exclusive. Number 14. X is charged with homicide. He pleads guilty but presents evidence to establish self-defense. What should the court do? X is charged with homicide. He pleads guilty but presents evidence to establish self-defense. What should the court do? Letter A, deny the evidence to establish self-defense. Letter B, the court should withdraw the plea and enter a plea of not guilty. Letter C, convict the accused based on his plea of guilty. Or letter D, convict him with homicide with lower penalty. Number 15. Crimes where some acts material and essential to the crimes and requisites to their commission occur in one municipality or territory, and some acts are done in another place. Letter A, continuing offense. Letter B, transitory offense. Letter C, scattered offense. Or letter D, none of them. Okay, yung mga hindi nakapag-press 10, pwede po kayo mag-press 10 dito sa number 15. Yung mga hindi nakapag-press 10, sa number 15 na kayo press 10. Question number 16. Where should a criminal action be instituted? Letter A, in the court of the municipality or territory where the offense was committed. Letter B, in the court of the municipality or territory where the accused is resided. Siguro kulang yan. Where the accused reside. Letter C, in the court of the municipality or territory of the victim. Yeah. Or letter D, all of them are correct. Okay, number 16, where should a criminal action be instituted? A, in the territory where the offense was committed. Letter B, in the territory of the accused. Or letter C, in the territory of the victim. Or lahat ng nabanggit. Letter B. 17. The information for murder did not contain the place where it was committed. Is the information valid? Letter A, yes, it is still valid. Letter B, yes. The information may include wordings that mention that the crime was committed within the territorial jurisdiction of the court. Letter C, yes. The place of the commission of the crime may just be later established by evidence. Or letter D, all of them are correct. Question number 18. X was charged with murder. Can he be convicted of homicide? Letter A, yes, it is the recital of the facts and not the designation of the offense which is controlling. Letter B, no, the information is defective. Letter C, yes, homicide is the same as murder. Or letter D, no, the designation of the offense is not controlling. Question number 19. In the crime of seduction, if the minor or parents does not file the action, the grandparents may be authorized to file in their behalf. Letter A, true. Letter B, false. Letter C, may be true. Or letter D, may be false. 20. The crimes of abduction and acts of lasciviousness shall not be prosecuted except upon a complaint filed by the offended spouse. A, true. B, false. C, may be true. Or letter D, may be false. Medyo maingay sa labas at tabi kasi sasakyan. 21. Reading the complaint or information in the language or dialect known to the accused. A, asking him whether he pleads guilty or not guilty. Is it letter A, trial, B, judgment, C, appeal, or letter D, arraignment? Reading the complaint or information to the accused. Anong tawag natin dyan? Trial, judgment, appeal, or arraignment. 22. Can a person who pleaded guilty still be acquitted? Can a person who pleaded guilty still be acquitted? Letter A, yes. When an accused pleads guilty, it doesn't necessarily follow that he is convicted? Letter B, no. Additional evidence independent of the guilty plea may not be considered anymore. Letter C, yes. The totality of evidence should be determined whether the accused should be convicted or acquitted. Or letter D, both A and C is correct. 23. An order in writing issued in the name of the people of the Philippines, signed by a judge and directed to a peace officer, commanding him to search for personal property described therein and bring it before the court. Is it letter A, warrant of arrest? Letter B, surety warrant? Letter C, search warrant? Or letter D, archive warrant? 24. Can the prosecution appeal a judgment of acquittal? A, yes. B, no. Acquitted na yung akusado, pwede bang mag-appeal yung prosecutor? A, yes. B, no. 25. Last question na tayo. Reading the judgment in the presence of the accused and any judge of the court in which it was rendered. A, arraignment. B, promulgation of judgment. Letter C, execution of judgment. Or letter D, suspension of judgment. Okay, so sa mga hindi nakakuha lahat ng ating katanungan, pwede kayong mag-backread later on. Then, answer it properly. You are given enough time up to 8 o'clock to submit your answer. Alright? So, mag-press 10 na for the last time sa mga hindi nakapag-press 10. And SS nyo yan. That is very important. That is additional points to your score. Okay? Directly from the score. Kaya mahalaga yung press 10. Okay? But I want to see na yung press 10 ninyo, you have done this during our live stream. Okay? So hanggang sa muli, maraming salamat. Have a nice day, everyone.